What's good, family? It's your guy every day, dropping edits every day, showcasing my work from music videos, documentaries, the funniest mashups, and looking at one of my latest projects, Revamp. Got footage waiting to be transformed? Let me bring that to life. Send me your clips today and watch your vision turn into magic. Let's make it happen. What's good, people? It's your guy every day. Shout out to the crew and the gang, man. Let's tap into this one, man. We still at the book launch, people. We got Mfundishi, from overseas coming to drop some gems on the people. So let's get into this. This sounds a bit whoa. It's a live event. It is what it is, man. Hope you guys enjoy.
Brother, Mfundishi. Black power! We can do better than that. Black power! Black power! Brothers and sisters, you got to do that from your heart. You got to feel that all the way down to your toes. Black power! Stand up and say it. Black power! We need a shot of adrenaline in here. Brothers and sisters, thank you. We are the ones we've been waiting for. There's no Messiah coming. There is no return of the Jesus. Muhammad is not coming back. Buddha is not coming back. You are here because the Creator sent you. And it is time for us to reprogram ourselves. One of the greatest problems that African people throughout the diaspora is facing is our consciousness. We have to begin to relearn and rethink. We have to learn how to think symptomatically. Symptomatically means I can concretely prove it. I can see it, I can feel it, I can touch it. I don't believe it, I know it. Someone asked me, Mfundishi, do you believe in God? I said, no, I don't believe in God. I am the Creator. The Creator operates through me. I feel it, I don't have to believe it. Brothers and sisters, we are the original people on this planet. We are the creators of the sciences, the math, engineering, economics, spirituality. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We have to regroup ourselves. Right now, brothers and sisters, when I look at you, you're a beautiful diamond. You are a magnificent crystal. But somebody took that crystal and shattered it. And now we got pieces all around the world. We're in London, we're in UK, we're in the United States, we're in South America, we're throughout Asia. And our homeland is Africa. That's where that crystal was formed. We have to make Africa great again. And it doesn't matter where you live, because you live in your heart. Kwame Nkrumah said, you're not African because you were born in Africa. You're African because Africa was born in you. I have people who claim, I'm not black, I'm not African, and they look like me. If we have a DNA test, you'll be just as African as I am. I'm from Tanzania, by way of New York now. But I'm here in the UK to share this message with you. Pan-Africanism or perish. One of my teachers, Dr. Clark, said that 50 years ago. Let me say it again. Pan-Africanism or perish. Dr. Clark said, we have no friends in the world. If you study history, our kindness, our hospitality has been abused by everybody. Asians, Europeans, everybody. The only real friend you have is you. It has to start with you. Then it starts with your family. Then it starts with your people. And then you can spread it to the rest of the world. But it starts at home first. We can solve all of our problems, but we have to change the way we think. We have to learn what a contract is. When I was in college, I did a thesis paper, and I had 266 contracts that the U.S. government made with the indigenous people. That's Moors, that's Native Americans, 266, from 1600 to 1860. In 1860, all 266 contracts were broken. Now, if you know anything about science, you have a theory, and then you have to prove the theory. Well, that's an absolute fact. You cannot trust the Wazungu, the Asians, the Europeans, none of them. I know some of you saying, wait a minute, Mfundishi, are you bashing white folks? I said, no. Some of my best friends have friends who have white friends. And I don't have a problem with it. Okay, all right? So I'm not anti-white. I'm anti-oppression. I'm anti-discrimination. I'm against anybody who's anti-nature. Brothers and sisters, when the brother just came up here and he talked about our foods are killing us, it's because we eat European food. Some of y'all gonna leave here and go have a pizza. Some of y'all going to have some Chinese food. Some of y'all are posted down. We have to learn what are the foods that our ancestors ate. Believe it or not, it takes 2,500 years for your stomach culture to change. I'll say it again. It takes 2,500 years for your stomach culture to change. So it doesn't matter where you were born. You might say, well, brother, I was born in London. It doesn't matter. You're still an African. You're an African in London. Somebody came up to my table and asked me, was I an African American? I said, no, I'm an African who lives in America. You have to be able to know who you are so that you know where you're going. And brothers and sisters, you have to have a plan. You can be in for a rude awakening. So you need a spiritual plan, and the spiritual plan needs to encompass the economics, your defense. To develop something and not be able to protect it is like not having it at all. And so you have to take control of your educational system. Right now, your educational system is a British system that doesn't have your best interests at heart. In America, we have a British system, an American British system that don't have our best interests. If I go throughout Africa, the colonial system is still in place. The first step is take control of your baby's minds. In America, we start opening up. The preschool was developed by African people. We start preparing our children before they went to kindergarten. The Europeans said, oh no, we can't have that. They start giving free preschool. They put all of our preschools out of business. I'm an Ndudu member of the Council of Independent Black Institutions. In 1975, we had 350 independent African schools. And then the Europeans said, oh, we can't have this. They came out with charter schools. You want to have charter schools here? Charter schools is just a regular public school, and it goes under the guise of a community school. They put the independent school out of business because it's free. And so you lose control again. It looks like a community school, but then they come in and say, all your teachers have to be certified by the Board of Education. All your teachers have to go through our testing. And then you right back where you started from. Now, there's less than 50 independent schools in the whole country of the U.S. From 350 to 50. And it's dwindling each year because you can't run a school just on tuition. You have to have endowments, you have to have people, you have to have grants, you have to have a whole lot, you have to have a support system. Brothers and sisters, we have to support our educational system. Homeschool your kids. If you can't homeschool them, develop an after-school program. Develop a Saturday, Sunday school program. In Edison, New Jersey, where my son went to school for a short period of time, I took him to the library to do a report, and the whole library was full with Indian kids. I thought it was an Indian holiday. They said, oh no, it's like this every day. They come here collectively to study, and then they study Saturday, Sunday with their own culture. So they understand they're getting what their enemy has so that they can move. But then they study their own. So brothers here, you need a Saturday, Sunday school to teach the culture and the language to your people. Now I teach Badu Nature and Kiswahili. Kiswahili now is adopted by 16 African countries as the national country, national language. Let me say this. all of Africa, as many languages we have over 1,000 languages in Africa. Swahili is the only African language that's the official language of the entire country. And so I don't care what language you speak, you should learn some Swahili. Mfundishi is our classical language. What is classical? It's the best that you have to offer. And so in America, our classical music is jazz, created by African people, based upon African rhythms that come from the continent. Our classical language, which means the best that you have to offer, is the Mfundishi. There's over 500 African languages that still have Mfundishi words in it and concepts, just like it has in ancient Kemet. And for those people who don't know, ancient Kemet is what they call Egypt. Egypt is a name created by the Greeks. We call our country Kemet. We call it Talmera, the beloved land. We call it Sematawa, the united two lands. And we call it Kemet, the black land. And we call ourselves the Remech. Remech means the original people. And we also call ourselves the Kemetu, the black people. We didn't have a problem. And it doesn't mean that everybody was this color. We had every color in ancient Kemet, from extremely dark to extremely light. But we were not divided and conquered based upon color. That's a modern thing. You know, they were African Greeks, they were African Romans. You took on the personification of the language you spoke in the country you were in. Racism was just created yesterday. Dr. Clark would say, if you can put African history on a clock that represents 1 hour, we were in charge for 59 minutes. I'll say it again. If you look at world history and civilization, and it encountered 1 hour, for 59 minutes, we were in charge. But you happen to be living in the 1 minute that we're not in charge. And your children don't know nothing about your past. So brothers and sisters, we have to remember there's something called Sankofa. Sankofa means go back, fetch what you've lost so that you can go forward. So I'm going to end up with a poem called Sankofa. But before I do that, there's two things I want to talk about. One is how to respect our ancestors. How to respect our ancestors. The ancestors that created civilization, that made the foundations of language in the world of mathematics and writing. Number one, you speak their names the way they spoke. Number two, you use their completed works, their genius works. You use them in your everyday life. Number three, you complete their incomplete works. And so this Black History Month program is a personification of that. Making sure we know who we are. Making sure that your children know who we are. And number four, we leave images and edifices, statues, carvings, paintings of our ancestors so our children can recognize just how great we are. And people, there are 5 stages of consciousness of a sacred temple. We have forgotten. Our first sacred temple is our consciousness. You are not your body. You are not your ego. You are a spiritual entity that's part of the Creator. All of us in here are divine spiritual beings having a divine human experience. If you thought you were divine, you would treat each other differently. We used to treat each other. In Mfundishi, we have a preposition before the noun. If we want to talk about something divine, we say in lecture, in patah. That means to patah, to something great. But if we talk about black people, we say in Kemetu, Kemetu. So black people in ancient Kemet in the Nile Valley used to treat ourselves the same way we treat divinity. The second sacred temple is your heart. And your heart is operating even before this is operating. The heart is beating before this is developed. And that's why your parents, especially your moms, will tell you, follow your heart. And your heart has to coincide with the consciousness here. When your spiritual heart is connected to your spiritual consciousness, now you're ready to evolve to the fourth and fifth dimension. The third temple is the body. You heard the brother up here. Take care of yourself first. We are in an emergency. Black people are dying at a rate faster than anybody else. We used to be the most long-lived. Now, in America, you have to be like 65, 68 to collect Social Security. Black men don't live long enough to collect it. The body, take care of it, be fit. Learn how to breathe. Learn how to do correct exercises. Learn how to worship your own temple. The fourth temple is your home. You need a sacred space in your home. You have an altar somewhere. We didn't go to church. Your church was your house and your altar was there. Everybody here should have a sacred altar that you dedicate to your ancestors. A sacred altar you have for your children, and a sacred altar you have for you, with your goals and the dates you're going to complete it on. And the fifth sacred temple is nature. Eat your lunch in the park. Go for a walk in the forest. Take your shoes off and walk in the grass. Go hug a tree. You are part of nature. We have been separated from that. Because you are following the Wazungu, who's an enemy of nature. You have to be one with nature. That's what. So your science and technology has to be to evolve you to be one with nature. Right now, our science and technology can blow the planet up 20 times. That's anti-nature. How can we feed the whole village? Can we clothe everyone without a financial burden to you? Your technology should be making things so that you coincide with nature. And so, brothers and sisters, when you take care of each one of those sacred temples, the consciousness, the heart, the body, your own sacred home, that's why you come in and take your shoes off. You come in because that's your sacred space. And you go out into nature. In America, Black people suffer from a vitamin D deficiency. And I know you suffer from it in London and in the UK. That means you don't get enough sun. In America, anybody who lives above Florida has a vitamin D deficiency. You can't go to the drugstore and buy vitamin D. The only thing you buy is some expensive food. Okay? Vitamin D can only be synthesized as a hormone from the sun. You are the children of the sun. You need to get out into the sun. So, brothers and sisters, if you have a vitamin D deficiency, your stress level increases. If your stress level increases, it attacks your immune system, which makes you more susceptible to all diseases. And if you're eating the wrong food, thinking the wrong thoughts, wearing the wrong clothes, take control of your life. So I'm going to end with Sankofa. When I say Sankofa, I want you to say Sankofa. If my Sankofa is a little jazzy, I want your Sankofa to be a little jazzy. I want to hear everybody in the house. Sankofa! African, the original melanated human being, parents of civilization, guardians of the truth, sacred messenger of the Creator, inventor of divine man. We are the ones we have been waiting for, the creators of science, understanding the whole world revolves inside of us. Sankofa. Sankofa. Y'all sleep? When I say Sankofa, when you say Sankofa. Let's try one more time. Sankofa. We design blackness in the understanding that light creates creates all existence, but only exists because blackness exists. Blackness is the source of all things in the universe. Sankofa. We are the positive, the most dynamic people on the planet. We are the creators of all things. We are the most dynamic beings. We are the creators of the art, the science. Sankofa. We are the original lovers. We are the original athletes. We are the original people everywhere on the planet. We populate all the continents. Sankofa. Sankofa. Remember how great you are. You have amnesia. You need to get your mind back. Some of you say, I left nothing in Africa. You left your mind in Africa. We need to go back. Sankofa. Sankofa.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It's your guy every day, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. If you loved what you saw, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more creative edits. Want to support? Consider donating to help me create even more epic content. And don't forget to grab your exclusive merch at the website, link in my bio. Every purchase supports the channel. It's your guy every day. I'm out.